My ex-fiancé left me 6 months before our wedding, saying I wasn't refined enough for the life he wanted. Last Saturday, I watched him marry someone else at the Grandview Estate, the most exclusive venue in the city. What he didn't know was that I owned it. And by the time dessert was served, his perfect sophisticated wedding had become my most satisfying investment return. Nicole Vance stands in the private owner's suite of the Grandview Estate, watching through one-way glass as her ex-fiancé Clarence Milbon dances with his new bride. Before we jump back in, tell us where you're tuning in from, and if this story touches you, make sure you're a subscriber, because tomorrow, I've saved something extra special for you. Harmony Kirk, in the ballroom below. She describes the scene: Clarence in his custom tuxedo, Harmony in a Vera Wang gown, 200 guests in designer everything. A live orchestra, champagne towers, ice sculptures. The kind of wedding Clarence always said they couldn't afford when they were together. But Nicole isn't there as a guest. She's there as the owner. The silent investor who bought the Grandview Estate 18 months ago through an LLC. When Clarence's wedding planner called to book the venue 9 months ago, Nicole's property manager flagged it immediately. Nicole approved the booking herself. Top dollar. No discount. Nicole takes a sip of scotch from her private bar and says, in about 45 minutes, Clarence would realize exactly how sophisticated I'd become. But first, I needed to watch him enjoy himself. Needed to see that smug smile before I wiped it off completely. She watches Harmony laugh at something a bridesmaid said, watches Clarence work the room like he owns it. He always did love performing. Nicole's phone buzzes. Text from her property manager: David, ready when you are. Security has the updated list. Your call, boss. Clarence is now at the microphone, beginning his groom's speech. Nicole can hear him through the suite speakers. I want to thank everyone for celebrating with me and the most refined, sophisticated woman I've ever met. Nicole's jaw tightens. That word. Refined. The same word he'd used like a weapon 18 months ago. I set down my glass, Nicole narrates, and texted David back, execute phase 1. It's time he learned what real sophistication looks like. But I'm getting ahead of myself. To understand how I ended up owning my ex-fiancé's wedding venue, you need to know how I ended up losing him in the first place. It started 2 years ago, when I thought I'd found my forever. 2 years earlier. Nicole wakes up at 5:30 a.m. every morning in the condo she shares with Clarence downtown. It's a nice place. His family helped with the down payment, which he mentions whenever she suggests changing the decor his mother picked. She describes her morning routine with practiced precision. Clarence needs his coffee exactly at 6:15 a.m. French press, specific beans from the shop on King Street that costs $24 a pound. 2 tablespoons of half and half, 1 sugar cube, served in the Wedgwood cup his grandmother gave them. While the coffee brews, Nicole lays out his clothes. He told her 6 months into dating that he appreciated this. She thought it was sweet. Now she realizes he was training her. Navy suit on Mondays and Thursdays. Charcoal on Tuesdays and Fridays. Lighter gray on Wednesdays. His mother's pattern. Nicole makes herself instant coffee. Clarence says she wouldn't appreciate the good stuff anyway. Clarence emerges at 6:15 exactly, already on his phone. He's texting his mother about dinner plans Nicole wasn't consulted about. He drinks his coffee standing by the window, scrolling emails. No good morning. Hasn't been one in weeks. Did you pick up my dry cleaning? She did. It's in the closet. The ticket said Tuesday. Today's Wednesday. They called yesterday. It was ready early. I don't like when you change plans without telling me. Nicole doesn't point out she saved him a trip. Logic doesn't matter in these conversations. Clarence's phone buzzes. He actually smiles at the screen, a real smile Nicole hasn't seen directed at her in months. Who is it? She asks casually. Harmony Kirk. The new client I mentioned. The gallery owner. He'd mentioned her 3 times at dinner last week. Each time, his voice got warmer. We're meeting for lunch to discuss her acquisition contracts. She has excellent instincts for real estate. He's still smiling at his phone. Nicole wants to ask why a lunch meeting requires texting at 6:17 a.m. Instead, she asks if he wants breakfast. No time. I'll grab something at the office. He walks toward the door, coffee cup abandoned half full on the counter. At the door, he pauses. Your hair. Are you doing something with it today? We have the Rothman benefit tonight. She'd forgotten. Another society event where she'll stand beside him while he works the room. Maybe straighten it? And wear the navy dress. The one my mother liked. He leaves. Nicole stands in their kitchen, his kitchen, really, and looks at her reflection in the microwave door. Her hair is naturally wavy. She used to love it. Clarence's mother mentioned once that it looked bohemian, which wasn't a compliment. After Clarence leaves, Nicole allows herself 15 minutes. She opens her laptop to the browser he doesn't know she keeps password protected. 3 messages from Julie Heathers, her former college roommate who runs a boutique real estate investment firm. They've been friends since college, but Clarence thinks Julie is too aggressive and discourages their friendship. So Nicole sees her anyway, just doesn't mention it. The emails are about a property, an estate sale in the historic district. The family needs to liquidate fast. Julie thinks they could flip it for double. Nicole has $47,000 in a savings account Clarence doesn't know exists. She's been building it for 2 years from startup bonuses and weekend freelance work. Money his family's financial advisor doesn't see. She replies to Julie, "Send me the details." This would be their 4th property together. The last 3 deals netted Nicole $89,000. Added to her hidden account, she now has $136,000 that Clarence doesn't know about. Not that she's planning anything. It's just nice to have options. At 8:30 a.m., Nicole arrives at Meridian Tech, the startup where she's been executive assistant to the CEO for 4 years. Clarence calls it secretary work when his friends ask. Nicole runs the CEO's life, manages 3 executives' calendars, negotiates with vendors, organizes the company's biggest client events. Her boss, Marcus Chin, is already in his office when she arrives. Morning, Nicole. Thank God. The investors moved the pitch meeting to Friday and I haven't looked at the deck yet. Already handled, she says, pulling up the revised presentation she finished last night. I updated the financial projections and added the market analysis they requested. Marcus looks at her like she's magic. What would I do without you? Crash and burn, she says, smiling. At home, she's diminished, corrected, managed. At work, she's competent, valued, essential. At home, she drinks instant coffee and straightens her hair. At work, she solves problems and people listen. She's living 2 lives. In one, she's slowly disappearing. In the other, she's building something Clarence knows nothing about. Nicole's lunch break isn't spent in the company cafeteria. 3 times a week, she meets Julie at a coffee shop Clarence never visits, too far from his firm, not upscale enough. Julie slides a folder across the table. Inside are photos of the Whitmore estate, a crumbling Victorian in the historic district. The family patriarch died, the heirs want cash fast, listing at $340,000 for a property worth $500,000 minimum. It needs everything, Julie says, flipping through pictures of water-damaged ceilings and outdated electrical. New roof, full kitchen renovation, probably all new plumbing. But the location is perfect. Nicole studies the numbers Julie prepared. Acquisition cost, renovation budget, holding costs, projected sale price. She's gotten good at reading these over 2 years. Timeline? 4 months to renovate. List next spring when the market's hot. Projecting $180,000 profit. Your cut would be $108,000. Nicole does the math. That would bring her secret account to almost $250,000. She thinks about Clarence's mother, who once said women from ordinary backgrounds needed to be careful with money since they didn't have family resources to fall back on. Preparing and narrating this story took us a lot of time, so if you are enjoying it, subscribe to our channel, it means a lot to us. Now back to the story. Let's do it. The narration shifts to explain how this started. A year ago, Nicole's startup announced plans to go public. As employee 14, she had stock options she'd almost forgotten about. Marcus told her they could be worth substantial money if the IPO went well. Nicole mentioned it casually to Julie over lunch. Julie had just left her corporate job to start flipping properties. She mentioned needing $40,000 to close on a deal after her investor backed out. Nicole offered it from her savings. Clarence didn't know about the stock options. She'd stopped talking about her job after he dismissed it as playing office too many times. That first property sold in 3 months. Nicole's $40,000 became $71,000. She was hooked. Over 2 years, Nicole and Julie have completed 6 deals. Nicole never takes profits out, just rolls them into the next property. She's learning more than making money. Julie taught her to read property assessments, understand zoning laws, identify structural issues. Nicole spends lunch breaks studying real estate investment strategies. She's also networked. Through Julie, she's met contractors, architects, property attorneys. People who respect her opinion, who call her for advice, who don't know anything about Clarence or his family. Back at Meridian Tech, Marcus calls her into his office with news. The IPO process is moving forward faster than expected. We should close within 6 months. Your options, Nicole, you're going to do very well. She's been with the company 4 years. She has options for 15,000 shares. At the projected IPO price, minus strike price and taxes, she's looking at roughly $680,000. A number Clarence doesn't know about. She thanks Marcus calmly, walks back to her desk, and texts Julie, "Call me tonight." Big news. That evening, Nicole prepares for the Rothman benefit. She straightens her hair like Clarence requested. Puts on the navy dress his mother approved. Studies herself in the mirror and sees a woman in costume. Clarence is already impatient, checking his watch. We're going to be late. It's 6:28. He said they needed to leave by 6:30. In the car, he talks about the people who'll be there. The mayor, the hospital board chairman. And Harmony Kirk, she's on the junior committee. She's really made a name for herself, Clarence says. Her gallery is doing incredibly well. She just acquired a second space on Broad Street. All on her own. Nicole knows this is a dig. Unlike her, who supposedly has only what his family has given her. She's very refined, Clarence continues. Understands how to move in these circles. You could learn from her. Nicole looks out the window at Charleston's historic district sliding past. The homes worth millions, the ones she now knows how to evaluate, renovate, flip for massive profit. Maybe I will, she says quietly. At the benefit, Nicole watches Harmony work the room. She is refined, there's no denying it. Tall, blonde, perfectly dressed, gliding from conversation to conversation. Clarence gravitates toward her. Nicole watches him laugh at something Harmony says, watches him touch her elbow as he introduces her to someone. Watches the way he lights up, animated in a way he never is with Nicole anymore. Samantha, Nicole's older sister, materializes beside her with 2 champagne flutes. He's not even trying to hide it. Hide what? Nicole takes the champagne. Come on, Nicole. Sam is a divorce attorney. She sees patterns. The way he looks at her. You need to protect yourself. Nicole thinks about the $680,000 coming her way in 6 months. The properties she owns parts of. The near $1 million net worth Clarence doesn't know she has. I am, she says. Trust me, Sam. I am. It's a Tuesday morning when everything falls apart. Tuesdays are unremarkable. Nothing significant happens on Tuesdays. Nicole and Clarence have been engaged for 14 months. The wedding is planned for 6 months from now, a June ceremony at St. Philip's Church, reception at the yacht club, everything approved by his mother down to the napkin color. Nicole has been at her dress fitting downtown when she decides to surprise Clarence at his office with lunch. He's been stressed about a big case, working late every night. Maybe a spontaneous gesture will help. She picks up sandwiches from his favorite deli, $1.18 turkey clubs. She's in a good mood. The dress fits perfectly. The Whitmore estate just sold for $523,000, netting her $114,000 profit. Her secret account now sits at $250,000. Clarence's assistant isn't at her desk when Nicole arrives. The office door is partially open. Nicole hears voices inside, Clarence and a woman. She's about to knock when she hears her name. Nicole means well, but she's just not. Clarence pauses. She's not refined enough for where I'm going in my career. You understand. I do. Harmony's voice, soft and sympathetic. These things matter in our world. Breeding, good taste, knowing how to carry yourself. It's not something you can teach. Nicole stands frozen, sandwich bag crumpling in her grip. My mother sees it too. She keeps hinting that I should reconsider. Says Nicole will always be a rough around the edges no matter how much polish we try to add. And honestly, she's right. I've tried to help her, told her how to dress, how to speak, what to order at dinners. But there's something fundamentally common about her. So what will you do? The wedding is in 6 months. I know. Maybe it's better to end it now rather than divorce later. My father says a called-off engagement is embarrassing, but a divorce is a career killer. Nicole backs away slowly, quietly. She makes it to the elevator before the tears come. She sits in her car for 20 minutes trying to breathe. That evening, Clarence comes home at his usual time. Nicole has been rehearsing what to say for hours. We need to talk. Can it wait? I have a call with the Singapore client in an hour. No. Something in her voice makes him look at her. What's wrong? I came to your office today. I heard you talking to Harmony. She watches his face. Expects guilt, remorse, panic. Instead, calculation. He's building his defense. Nicole, that was taken out of context. You said I'm not refined enough. That I'm fundamentally common. That your mother thinks you should call off the wedding. I was venting. Everyone vents about their partners. To the woman you've been having lunch with 3 times a week? The one whose name lights up your phone at midnight? Clarence's jaw tightens. Nothing has happened with Harmony. We're just friends. If you're going to be jealous and insecure. I'm not insecure. I'm hearing you clearly for the first time. Nicole pulls off her engagement ring. It's a family heirloom, his grandmother's, 2 carats his mother presented like a crown. You should give this to someone refined. She sets it on the entry table. Clarence stares at it. Don't be dramatic. We can discuss this like adults. You're right. Here's the adult conversation. I'm moving out this weekend. You can keep the condo. Nicole, think about what you're doing. You're throwing away. What? Your family's money? Their connections? The chance to be molded into someone your mother approves of? Her voice is steady. I'm good, actually. Clarence's face changes. The mask drops. What's underneath is colder. You'll regret this. You think you have options? You're 34, working as a secretary. No real career, no family money, no connections. I was your best chance at a secure future. Executive assistant. And I have more options than you realize. Really? Like what? That pathetic side hustle with Julie? I've known about that. Cute that you think you're a real estate investor. My family owns half the historic district, Nicole. You're playing at business. This is the moment Nicole will remember. He knew about her properties and dismissed them. Knew about her success and still called her common. Knew she was building something and believed it was nothing. You know what, Clarence? You're right about one thing. I'm not refined. I don't know which fork to use or how to small talk with country club types or how to make myself smaller so you look bigger. But I know how to work. I know how to build. And I know my worth. She walks to the door. Where are you going? To my sister's. I'll get my things this weekend when you're at your parents'. You're really doing this? Nicole turns back. Clarence, we didn't build anything. You just tried to renovate me. And I'm done with construction. She drives to Sam's house 2 hours away. Her sister opens the door, takes one look at Nicole's face, and pulls her inside. I left him. Thank God. I was about to stage an intervention. That night, sitting in Sam's guest room, Nicole opens her laptop. The Meridian Tech IPO should close in about 4 months. The money will hit her account shortly after. She texts Julie, I need a project. Something big. Julie responds immediately, the Grandview Estate just went into foreclosure. Bank wants it gone. Talking to the auction house tomorrow. Nicole knows the Grandview. Everyone in Charleston does. Premier wedding venue for 30 years. The family who owned it went bankrupt, legal troubles, the whole thing's a mess. The property is worth $8 to $9 million easily, but in foreclosure, it might go for $6 million. Get me the details, Nicole texts back. All of them. Nicole doesn't cry for 3 days. She stays at Sam's house, goes to work like nothing happened, tells Marcus she needs to take some personal days next month. The following Tuesday, the Meridian Tech IPO closes. Nicole refreshes her banking app 3 times to make sure the number is real. $683,492 after taxes. Combined with her real estate profits, she's sitting on $933,492. She's almost a millionaire, and Clarence has no idea. Sam finds her staring at her laptop at midnight. You okay? I'm better than okay. Nicole turns the screen. I'm free. Julie sends over everything about the Grandview Estate. The property has been in the Hartwell family for 60 years. They turned it into a premium wedding venue in the 90s. But old man Hartwell got caught in investment fraud, assets frozen, family imploded. The estate is being auctioned by the bank. Nicole reads every document. The inspection reports, financial records, booking calendar. Even in bankruptcy, the Grandview is booked solid for 18 months. Weddings scheduled every weekend, deposits collected, contracts in place. Whoever buys this isn't just getting real estate, they're buying a profitable business. The auction is in 10 days. Estimated bidding starts at $5.5 million. Nicole has just under $1 million. She needs financing. She calls Julie at 1 a.m. I need a commercial loan. Fast. Can you connect me with that banker you worked with? For the Grandview? Nicole, that's a huge jump from flipping houses. I know. But I have capital for a substantial down payment, the property has proven revenue, and I need this. Why? Because Clarence's family owns 3 wedding venues in this city. Because his mother sits on every society board that matters. Because buying the Grandview means I control the single most prestigious venue in Charleston. Nicole pauses. And because I want it. Julie is quiet. Then, I'll set up the meeting for Monday. Over the weekend, Nicole builds a complete business plan. She's watched Marcus run a startup for 4 years. She knows how to make projections, analyze markets, identify competitive advantages. The Grandview has been coasting on reputation. The Hartwells stopped investing in upgrades, let maintenance slide. Nicole sees opportunity. She makes lists. Renovate kitchens for better catering. Update bridal suites with luxury amenities. Add rooftop terrace for ceremonies. Modernize booking system. Hire top-tier event coordinator. By Sunday night, she has a 40-page business plan. Sam reads it while Nicole paces. This is actually brilliant. It's risky. So was leaving Clarence. How'd that feel? Nicole smiles for the first time in days. Like I could breathe. Monday morning, Nicole walks into Charleston First Bank in a new suit. The loan officer, Patricia Chen, reviews Nicole's materials with increasing interest. Your revenue projections are conservative. The Grandview could support higher pricing with the right improvements. I wanted to be realistic for the first 2 years. Smart. Patricia makes notes. Your down payment is substantial. 20% on a $6 million purchase. Your business plan shows you understand the market. She looks up. Most people have no idea what they're doing. You clearly do. Patricia runs the numbers, asks questions about Nicole's background, her experience with the other properties. She's thorough but fair. With Nicole's down payment and the property's existing revenue, the bank can finance $4.8 million. One more thing. I'd recommend creating an LLC. Better liability protection. Already done. Nicole slides over the paperwork. Vance Properties LLC. Registered last week. Patricia smiles. You're going to do just fine, Ms. Vance. The foreclosure auction is Wednesday at the county courthouse. Nicole has never been to one. She wears jeans, a simple blouse, glasses she doesn't need. She wants to look like somebody's assistant, not a serious bidder. Julie is there separately. They don't acknowledge each other. Julie will bid if Nicole signals. 7 bidders total. Nicole recognizes 2 local developers. 1 hotel chain representative. The others are harder to place. The auctioneer starts at $5 million. Nicole stays quiet. Bidding moves quickly, $5.2 million, $5.5 million, $5.8 million. 2 bidders drop out. At $6 million, 3 remain, the hotel chain, 1 developer, and Nicole. $6.1 million. The hotel rep bids. Nicole counters, $6.2 million. The developer jumps to $6.3 million. The hotel rep shakes his head. Nicole's heart pounds. This is more than planned. The loan officer approved up to $6.5 million total, but she'd hoped to stay under $6.2 million. She bids $6.4 million. The developer looks at her, reassessing. He counters, $6.5 million. Nicole has 1 move left. She signals Julie, who immediately raises her paddle, $6.6 million. The developer looks between them, realizes they're together, and shakes his head. $6.6 million going once, twice, sold to bidder 43. Julie's bidder number. As planned. The property transfers to Vance Properties LLC by end of week. That evening, Nicole drives to the Grandview for the first time as its owner. The property manager, David Torres, meets her at the gate. He's worked here 15 years, stayed through bankruptcy because he loves the place. Ms. Vance, welcome. I'm relieved you won the auction. The hotel chain would have gutted this place. Nicole walks through her property. The ballrooms need updating, but the bones are magnificent. The gardens need work. The bridal suites are dated. But it's all fixable. David, I need to ask you something. How far out is the booking calendar? 18 months, fully booked. We have a waiting list. Good. I need you to pull a specific booking. Should be about 9 months out. Groom's name is Clarence Milbon. David checks his tablet. Yes, here it is. June wedding, full venue rental, premium package. Deposit paid in full. Nicole smiles. Perfect. Don't cancel it. I want that booking to proceed exactly as planned. David looks confused. You want to honor a contract from the previous owners? Oh yes. That wedding is going to happen. But there are going to be some adjustments to the service. Nicole spends 3 months transforming the Grandview. She pours $400,000 into renovations, new commercial kitchen, updated bridal suites with Italian marble, restored gardens, a rooftop terrace with harbor views. She hires away the best event coordinator from the yacht club, a woman named Teresa. The venue reopens to rave reviews. The first wedding under new ownership gets featured in Charleston magazine. Bookings extend to 2 years out. Nicole keeps her ownership quiet, all contracts signed by David as property manager, all correspondence from Vance Properties LLC. Nobody connects the dots. She's moved into a renovated loft in the French Quarter. Nothing ostentatious, but it's hers. Every piece of furniture she picked. She still works at Meridian Tech 3 days a week, though Marcus keeps asking when she'll quit full-time. Soon, she tells him. I'm waiting for something. That something happens on a Tuesday morning. David calls Nicole at work. We have a situation with the Milbon wedding. Nicole's pulse quickens. What kind of situation? The bride, Harmony Kirk, wants to upgrade the package. Significantly. She saw photos of the renovations and wants everything. The rooftop ceremony, the premium bar, upgraded florals. She's willing to pay the difference. How much? Their original contract was $45,000. The upgraded package would be $78,000. That's an additional $33,000. Nicole does the math. Clarence's lawyer's salary is good, but not that good. The Kirk family money would have to cover it. Tell them we can accommodate. Send the revised contract. There's one more thing. Ms. Kirk wants to tour the venue again. She specifically requested to meet the owner. Nicole smiles. Harmony wants to meet the owner. The anonymous investor whose taste she's been admiring in magazines. Set it up for next week. Nicole prepares carefully. She wears a cream suit, expensive but understated. Hair in a sleek bun. Simple jewelry. She looks sophisticated without trying. Harmony arrives 15 minutes late with her wedding planner and assistant. She's exactly as Nicole remembers, tall, blonde, moving like she owns the world. David handles introductions. Ms. Kirk, this is Nicole Vance, the owner of the Grandview Estate. Nicole watches Harmony's face. There's a flicker of recognition, the name sounds familiar, but she doesn't place it. Why would she? Nicole was just the dumpy ex-fiancé barely worth remembering. It's lovely to meet you, Harmony says, extending a manicured hand. Your renovations are stunning. When I saw the rooftop terrace in Charleston magazine, I knew we had to have our ceremony there. Thank you. We've worked hard to honor the estate's history while modernizing the experience. Nicole shakes her hand. Firm grip. Eye contact. They tour the venue. Nicole explains the renovation choices, the design philosophy. Harmony nods along, clearly impressed. You have exquisite taste, Harmony says on the rooftop terrace overlooking the harbor. Really sophisticated. Did you study design? No, I just know what I like. And I understand what makes a space feel special. You've created something remarkable. My fiancé and I are so grateful we could book with you. Although, Harmony laughs, when I learned the previous owners sold, I was terrified the new owner would cancel our contract. I would never cancel a contract. Every couple deserves their perfect day. That's so gracious. Harmony pulls out her phone. Do you mind if I get a photo? I'd love to tag the venue. Of course. Nicole stands beside Harmony while the assistant takes photos. In the images, they look like equals. Friends, even. Harmony posts immediately, met the incredible owner of at Grandview Estate today. Our wedding venue is in the most capable, sophisticated hands. June can't come fast enough. Nicole's phone buzzes with the notification. Her business Instagram now connected publicly to Harmony Kirk's wedding. That evening, Nicole is reviewing contracts when her phone rings. Unknown number. Hello? Nicole? Clarence's voice. She hasn't heard it in 3 months. Harmony just told me something strange. She said she met the owner of our wedding venue today. Said her name was Nicole Vance. Nicole sets down her wine. That's not strange. That's accurate. Silence. You bought the Grandview Estate. 6 weeks after we broke up. Got it at auction. Quite a deal, actually. With what money? His voice rises. My money, Clarence. From my job, the secretary position, as you called it. Turns out stock options from successful startups are quite valuable. You can't afford, that property is worth millions. $6.6 million at auction. Plus another $400,000 in renovations. I could afford it. This is insane. You're trying to sabotage my wedding. Actually, I'm hosting your wedding. For $78,000, thanks to your fiancé's excellent taste in upgrades. The contract is signed. All non-refundable. More silence. She can hear him breathing. I could cancel. Find another venue. You could try. But you're 3 months out, Clarence. Every decent venue in Charleston is booked solid. She pauses. Plus, Harmony seems quite attached to the Grandview. She'd have questions about why you suddenly wanted to change. About whether there's some history you haven't mentioned. You told her? I didn't have to. She doesn't even remember me. I'm just the sophisticated venue owner with refined taste. Nicole lets that word hang. Funny how sophistication is easier to see when it comes with a $7 million property. What do you want, Nicole? Nothing. I want you to have your perfect wedding at my perfect venue. I want Harmony to walk down my aisle, cut her cake in my ballroom, take photos in my gardens. And I want you to know, the entire time, that the woman you called common is the one who owns it all. She hangs up. Nicole doesn't answer. Let her leave a voicemail. Ms. Vance, this is Barbara Milbon. I believe we need to have a conversation about your business dealings with my son. Please call me. Nicole deletes it without responding. The next call comes from Julie, breathless. Did you seriously just tell Clarence you own his wedding venue? He figured it out. I helped him along. Nicole, this is either brilliant or insane. Maybe both. But I'm not canceling. They signed the contract. They're having their wedding at my venue, and it's going to be perfect. And then what? Nicole smiles. Then I have a few more surprises planned. But first, I need to make sure everything is flawless. Harmony Kirk is going to have the sophisticated wedding of her dreams. You're terrifying, Julie says, laughing. I love it. 2 months before the wedding. Nicole's youngest cousin Zoe calls on a Wednesday afternoon. Zoe is 26, works in social media marketing, and has been quietly tracking Clarence and Harmony's relationship online. You need to see something. I've been watching Harmony's Instagram. The timeline doesn't add up. Nicole puts her on speaker while reviewing a catering contract. What do you mean? Her first post with Clarence is dated 7 months ago. She tagged him at a charity gala. But I dug deeper. There are older photos, from 10 months ago. She'd cropped them, but I can see a man's hand in one, a reflection in another. Same watch Clarence wears. That vintage Rolex his dad gave him. Nicole stops reading. 10 months ago I was still engaged to him. Exactly. They were together before you broke up. He already had her lined up. The realization shouldn't hurt after 3 months, but it does. Not because she wants him back, but because it confirms what she suspected. She wasn't paranoid. The lunches, the late nights, the way he lit up when Harmony texted. It was all real. Send me everything. Zoe creates a complete timeline, photos, tagged locations, comments from Harmony's friends that reference the new guy months before Clarence officially became single. She even finds a post from Harmony's best friend from 8 months ago, when you know. 2 hearts. 8 months ago, Nicole was picking out wedding invitations. That weekend, Sam drives down from Columbia with a file folder. She drops it on Nicole's kitchen counter with a heavy thud. What's this? Research. I have access to the legal gossip network. Sam is serious now, her lawyer face on. 3 years ago, there was a complaint filed against Clarence. Sexual harassment. A paralegal at his firm claimed he made repeated unwanted advances. The complaint was settled quietly. Firm paid her $75,000 to go away and sign an NDA. Nicole feels cold. He told me he was up for partner that year. They were covering it up. The managing partner is his godfather, Nicole. Joseph Heathers. They swept it under the rug, paid the woman off, promoted him anyway. Sam opens the folder. But that's not all. I talked to someone who works at his firm now. Off the record, she says there are whispers about Clarence and Harmony. That they were way too cozy long before you split. So everyone knew. Everyone suspected. And Harmony has a pattern. She dates strategically. Every boyfriend has been wealthy, connected, or useful to her career. Her gallery didn't become successful because she has a good eye. It became successful because she dated people who introduced her to collectors. Nicole processes this. His family name, his law firm connections. Exactly. She's not marrying him because she loves him. She's marrying him because he's useful. And he's marrying her because she photographs well and knows which fork to use. Sam closes the folder. You dodged a bullet. Both of them are users. Monday morning at Meridian Tech, Marcus calls Nicole into his office. He looks uncomfortable. I need to tell you something, and I probably should have mentioned it months ago. You remember when you were engaged to that lawyer? Clarence? Hard to forget. He came to see me once. About a year ago. Said he was concerned about your work-life balance, that you were spending too much time at the office. He suggested I should reduce your responsibilities, encourage you to focus more on wedding planning. Nicole's jaw tightens. What did you tell him? I told him your work performance was none of his business. But here's the thing, he also asked about your stock options. Wanted to know how much they'd be worth if the company went public. I told him that was confidential. He was calculating my value. That's what it felt like. Like you were an investment he was evaluating. Marcus shakes his head. After you split, I realized, he wasn't worried about your work-life balance. He was trying to control your income, your independence. That afternoon, Teresa, the event coordinator Nicole hired, knocks on her office door at the Grandview. Do you have a minute? I need to tell you something about the Milbon wedding. What's wrong? Nothing's wrong, exactly. But I've been coordinating with Harmony Kirk, and some things are off. Teresa sits down. She's changed her mind on vendors 3 times. First she wanted the florist I recommended, then switched to someone cheaper, then switched back. Same with the photographer, the DJ, the cake. Like she's fighting with someone about the budget. Clarence, probably. That's what I thought. But then I overheard a phone call. She was talking to someone, not Clarence, sounded like her mother, and she said something like, the Milbons need to pay for this. It's their son's wedding. If they can't afford it, that's not my problem. Nicole raises an eyebrow. She's making his family pay? All of it, from what I could tell. The full $78,000. And she was pretty cold about it. Teresa hesitates. Look, I've coordinated a lot of weddings. This one? I give it 2 years, maybe 3. She's marrying him for the name. He's marrying her for the trophy wife. There's no warmth there. After Teresa leaves, Nicole sits in her office overlooking the estate grounds. Workers are stringing lights in the garden for this weekend's wedding. She thinks about Barbara Milbon having to write a $78,000 check. Barbara, who told Nicole she wasn't sophisticated enough, now funding her son's marriage to a woman who's clearly using him. The irony is almost too perfect. 2 weeks before the wedding. Nicole is in her office when David knocks urgently. Clarence Milbon just showed up demanding to see you. He's with someone, looks like a lawyer. Nicole glances at her calendar. She has a tasting menu review in 20 minutes. Send them to the conference room. I'll be there in 5. She takes her time. Finishes her notes, checks her appearance in the mirror. Tailored black pants, silk blouse, her grandmother's pearls. She looks like someone who owns a $7 million property. When she enters the conference room, Clarence is pacing while an older man in an expensive suit sits reviewing documents. The man looks up. This must be Joseph Heathers, the managing partner. Gentlemen. I'm told there's an issue with the Milbon wedding. Joseph stands, extending his hand. Joseph Heathers, Ms. Vance. I represent the Milbon family's interests. I think we can resolve this quickly. Nicole shakes his hand but doesn't sit. I wasn't aware there was a situation. My clients believe there's a conflict of interest. You and Mr. Milbon have prior history. Had. Past tense. We were engaged briefly. It ended. We've both moved on. Clarence speaks. You bought this venue to sabotage my wedding. Nicole turns to him calmly. I bought this venue as a business investment 6 months before you even proposed to Harmony. Your wedding planner contacted us. We didn't solicit your business. You could have told us you owned it. Why would I? Vance Properties owns multiple properties in Charleston. I don't personally disclose my involvement in every transaction. Joseph interjects. Nevertheless, given the history, my clients feel uncomfortable proceeding. They'd like to cancel and receive a full refund. Nicole sits down. No. I'm sorry. The contract is binding. All deposits are non-refundable, as stated in Section 4.2. You're welcome to cancel, but you forfeit the money. She slides a copy across the table. Joseph reviews it, jaw tightening. This is excessive. This is standard for luxury venues. We turn away bookings to hold dates. The deposit protects that lost revenue. Nicole leans back. Besides, canceling now would be complicated. Your save the dates went out months ago. 200 guests. Harmony posted about the venue extensively on social media. How would you explain the change? That the sophisticated venue owner turned out to be the unsophisticated ex-fiancé? Clarence reddens. You're doing this out of spite. I'm honoring a contract. If this were spite, I could have cancelled your booking when I discovered who you were. Instead, Teresa has bent over backward accommodating Harmony's changes. My fiancé doesn't know about you, Clarence says quietly. About us. Nicole tilts her head. That sounds like your problem, not mine. Joseph tries another angle. The Milbon family is well connected in Charleston. It would be unfortunate if those relationships turned hostile toward your business. Are you threatening me, Mr. Heathers? I'm explaining reality. Reputations matter. They certainly do. Nicole pulls out her own folder. Which is why the Milbon family wouldn't want anyone knowing about the harassment complaint filed against Clarence 3 years ago. The one your firm settled for $75,000. The one you helped cover up. The room goes silent. Joseph's face drains. Clarence looks punched. How did you? Clarence starts. I have friends too. Some with access to legal networks. Nicole opens the folder. The complaint describes a pattern. Unwanted advances, inappropriate comments, abuse of power. Your firm paid the woman to disappear and promoted you anyway. Joseph's voice is ice. That matter was resolved confidentially. I'm simply noting that reputation matters. You're concerned about my business reputation. I'm concerned about Clarence's professional reputation. And Harmony's right to know who she's marrying. You wouldn't, Clarence says uncertainly. Wouldn't what? Tell your fiancé you left a previous firm under questionable circumstances? That Joseph here is your godfather and made sure the complaint disappeared? Nicole looks at Joseph. How does the Bar Association feel about ethics violations? Joseph stands abruptly. This is a business negotiation. You demanded I breach a contract. I'm explaining why that won't happen. Nicole stands. The wedding proceeds as planned. You pay the remaining balance. In exchange, I provide exceptional service and maintain confidentiality. Everyone wins. And if we refuse? Then I'd be disappointed. And disappointed business owners sometimes talk at charity benefits. Society events. The kind where Barbara Milbon and her friends gather. Nicole pauses. I'd hate for rumors to circulate about why Clarence really left his previous firm in Atlanta. Clarence looks panicked. I left for a better opportunity. You left because they forced you out quietly. Joseph got you a position here through family connections. A fresh start. Nicole's voice softens. Look, I don't want to destroy anyone. I just want to host your wedding and run my business. Can we agree? Joseph and Clarence exchange glances. Some silent conversation. Finally, Joseph says, the wedding proceeds. But after this, the Milbon family wants no further business with your properties. Perfectly acceptable. Teresa will reach out this week to finalize details. The rehearsal is Friday at 4 p.m. They leave without another word. Nicole watches from her window as they walk to Joseph's Mercedes. Clarence is gesturing wildly. Joseph looks grim. Her phone rings. Sam. Did they show up? Just left. Tried to cancel, threatened my reputation, the whole playbook. And? I mentioned the harassment complaint. That shut things down quickly. Nicole sits at her desk. Sam, did I just blackmail them? Legally? No. You didn't demand money beyond honoring an existing contract. You simply indicated you have information that could be damaging. That's leverage, not blackmail. Sam pauses. How do you feel? Powerful. A little sick. Mostly powerful. Good. You're not the weak woman Clarence thought you were. You're the one holding all the cards. An hour later, Harmony appears without an appointment. Teresa intercepts her. Ms. Kirk, we weren't expecting you. I need to speak with Ms. Vance immediately. Nicole hears the commotion and steps out. Harmony. Is everything all right? Harmony's composure is cracked. Her makeup is smudged like she's been crying. Can we speak privately? They go to Nicole's office. Harmony sits heavily, not her usual graceful settling. Clarence just told me you two used to be engaged. Why didn't you say something when we met? Nicole chooses words carefully. It ended almost 2 years ago. I've moved on. I didn't think it was relevant. Not relevant? You're hosting my wedding and you used to be engaged to my fiancé. I'm hosting a lot of weddings. Some probably involve people who know my exes, went to school with my family, have some connection to my life. I can't make business decisions based on personal history. Harmony is quiet. He says you're trying to sabotage us. That you're angry he chose me. Nicole feels something, not quite sympathy, but close. I'm not angry. I'm indifferent. Clarence and I weren't right for each other. He made that clear. I'm genuinely glad he found someone more suitable. Then why won't you let us cancel? Because contracts matter. I turned away other bookings to hold your date. I've invested resources into planning your event. Nicole leans forward. Harmony, I'm going to give you the wedding you dreamed of. Every detail will be perfect. That's what I do. That's my business. Did you love him? Harmony asks suddenly. Nicole considers lying, then decides on truth. I thought I did. But I loved the idea of him more than the reality. He wanted someone sophisticated and refined. I wanted someone who saw me as I was. Neither of us got what we wanted. And now? Now I own my own business. I have my own money. I don't need anyone to validate me. Nicole smiles slightly. I built something real. That matters more than any wedding. Harmony looks at her for a long moment. I wish I'd met you under different circumstances. Maybe in another life. After Harmony leaves, Nicole sits alone as sunset colors the harbor gold. In 2 weeks, this space will be filled with Clarence's wedding. His mother will walk these halls. His friends will drink her champagne. Harmony will dance in her ballroom. And Nicole will watch from the owner's suite, knowing she built all of this from nothing. 6 months later. It's a crisp November morning, and Nicole is sitting in the sunroom of her new house, a restored colonial in the historic district she bought 4 months ago. Every room reflects her taste. She's reviewing acquisition proposals for a second venue when her phone rings. Margaret Chen from Charleston Magazine wants to do a feature, the woman behind Charleston's luxury venue Empire. Empire is generous. Nicole owns the Grandview, has partnership stakes in 7 other properties with Julie, and just closed on a boutique hotel in Savannah. But it's growing. The Grandview alone generates $2.3 million annually. After expenses and loan payments, Nicole personally clears $400,000 a year. She's worth about $3.2 million now. 2 years ago, Clarence told her she had no real career. She accepts the interview. That afternoon, Nicole meets Sam for lunch. Sam slides her phone across the table showing a Facebook post. You need to see this. It's from one of Clarence's law school friends. Congrats to Clarence Milbon on the new addition. Baby bottle. The photo shows Clarence holding a newborn, looking exhausted. Harmony is beside him in a hospital gown, hair unwashed, facade gone. That's fast, Nicole says. They got married in June. It's November. Sam does the math. 5 months. Baby would have been conceived in March, before they even sent save the dates. Nicole zooms in. Clarence looks trapped. Not happy, trapped. Harmony looks triumphant. She locked it down, Sam says quietly. Got pregnant to make sure the wedding happened. Nicole thinks about the wedding day. She needs to explain what actually happened, since they jumped ahead. The ceremony itself went flawlessly. The rooftop terrace at sunset, harbor views, 200 guests in designer clothes. Harmony looked stunning. Clarence looked nervous but pleased. Everything was sophisticated, exactly what they'd wanted. Nicole watched from the owner's suite through one-way glass. She'd arranged every detail perfectly. Teresa coordinated flawlessly. It was objectively the most beautiful wedding the Grandview had ever hosted. But Nicole's real contribution came during the reception. As contracted, she provided premium bar service. What Clarence didn't know was that Nicole had instructed bartenders to be particularly generous with the Milbon family table. During toasts, Barbara was loose-tongued after 3 martinis. Her speech about welcoming Harmony included pointed comments about different backgrounds and learning our family ways that made half the room uncomfortable. Harmony's smile never wavered, but her eyes went cold. Then came the gift opening, a Charleston tradition. Barbara had given them a check. When Harmony opened it, her face fell. $5,000? Harmony said, loud enough for nearby tables to hear. For everything we've been through? Barbara, drunk enough to be honest, responded, we already paid $78,000 for this venue, dear. The table went silent. Harmony had told everyone her family paid for everything. The lie unraveled in real time. By dessert, gossip was spreading. The Milbans paid for everything. Harmony had lied. The bride was more interested in appearances than authenticity. Nicole didn't need to destroy them. She just served enough alcohol and let them destroy themselves. Back in the present, Zoe sends Nicole screenshots from a Charleston Society Facebook group. Whatever happened to that gorgeous Milban wedding? The comments are brutal. Heard they're already having problems. Married 5 months and barely speaking. She trapped him with a baby. What did he expect? Working insane hours to avoid going home. The Milban family is barely speaking to her. Remember how expensive that wedding was? Now they're stuck with a mortgage and new baby. Karma. Nicole reads without emotion. She's not happy they're miserable, just indifferent. They chose each other for wrong reasons. That evening, Nicole attends a Historic Preservation Society benefit, the kind she used to attend with Clarence while feeling invisible. Now she's attending as a donor who just contributed $50,000 to restore the old exchange building. She's talking with the mayor about venue spaces for city events when she sees them. Clarence and Harmony, looking every bit the sophisticated couple. He's in a tuxedo. She's in a designer gown, post-baby body already whipped back into shape. They're performing. Smiling, networking, playing successful young professionals. Then Clarence sees Nicole. Their eyes meet across the ballroom. She raises her champagne glass slightly, acknowledging. He looks away quickly, says something to Harmony, and they move to a different area. The mayor notices. You know the Milbans? I hosted their wedding at the Grandview. Ah, yes. Quite an event, from what I heard. The mayor's tone suggests he's heard the gossip. Your venue is becoming quite the destination. My daughter is talking about booking it for her wedding. I'd be honored. Marcus appears beside her, grinning. There's the property mogul. Ditching us startup folk for high society? Never. I'm still consulting for you 3 days a week. Which I appreciate. Though you don't need to. Your venue business is thriving. I like staying connected. Keeps me sharp. Nicole smiles. Plus, who else would organize your investor meetings? On her way to the restroom, Nicole nearly collides with Harmony. Nicole. I didn't know you'd be here. I'm on the donor list. Just contributed to the preservation fund. Harmony looks genuinely tired up close. That's generous. Old buildings are worth saving. They have history, character. You just need to invest in restoration. Harmony catches the metaphor. Some things are too damaged to restore. Usually because the foundation was never solid to begin with. Nicole softens slightly. How's the baby? He's beautiful. Exhausting, but beautiful. Harmony's mask drops. Everything is harder than I thought. Marriage, motherhood, all of it. Most worthwhile things are. Do you ever? Harmony stops. Do you ever regret leaving Clarence? Nicole looks at her directly. I see what you built, Harmony. Clarence is just the foundation you're standing on. And I don't regret leaving. I regret not leaving sooner. She walks away, leaving Harmony alone in the hallway. The next morning, Nicole is at the Grandview when Teresa brings coffee and the Charleston magazine mock-up. The headline reads, From Executive Assistant to Empire Builder, How Nicole Vance Became Charleston's Luxury Venue Queen. The article details her journey, the startup options, strategic investments, the Grandview acquisition. It mentions she's famously private about personal life but ruthlessly smart about business. There's a photo of her on the Grandview rooftop, harbor behind her, looking confident and self-possessed. Nicole barely recognizes herself. Not physically, but she finally looks like she feels, powerful, capable, sophisticated in her own way. Her phone buzzes. Julie saw the magazine piece. You're officially Charleston royalty now. How does it feel? Nicole looks out at her venue, her staff preparing for this weekend's wedding, her empire growing brick by brick. She texts back, "It feels like freedom." 8 months after the wedding. It's a Saturday afternoon in February, unseasonably warm. Nicole has the day off and finds herself wandering through Preservation Books, an independent bookstore specializing in architecture and design. She's just browsing, enjoying the quiet, the freedom to spend her afternoon however she wants. No one waiting at home. No one questioning her choices. Just her, alone, perfectly content. She's in the architecture section, flipping through a book about adaptive reuse of historic properties, when a voice beside her says, "That's a good one." The chapter on the Savannah Cotton Exchange restoration is fascinating. Nicole looks up. The man is maybe 40, wearing jeans and a worn leather jacket, holding books about preservation law. He has kind eyes and professor hair, slightly too long, clearly not styled. "You've read it?" Nicole asks. "Cover to cover. I'm a preservation architect. Occupational hazard." He extends his hand. Noel Holt. Nicole Vance. His eyes light up. The Grandview Estate owner. "I read your Charleston magazine piece. What you did with that property was remarkable. Maintained historical integrity while modernizing everything that mattered." Nicole wasn't expecting recognition. "You really did read it. I teach a seminar at the College of Charleston on adaptive reuse. I've been using your venue as a case study." He looks embarrassed. "Sorry, that probably sounds strange. Architecture people get excited about these things." "Not strange. Flattering, actually." Nicole closes her book. "What are you teaching this semester?" They fall into easy conversation about historic preservation, the challenges of updating old buildings without destroying their character. Noel is passionate without being pretentious, knowledgeable without being condescending. He listens when Nicole talks about the Grandview renovations, asks thoughtful questions. It's been so long since Nicole had a conversation like this, where someone engaged with her ideas rather than correcting them, where her competence was assumed. "I'm actually working on a project that you might find interesting," Noel says. "The old customs house on East Bay. The city is finally funding restoration. I'm leading the architectural team. I love that building. My office overlooks it from the Grandview." "Really? I'd love to see that perspective sometime. We're trying to figure out the best approach for the waterfront facade." He says it casually, not like a line. Just professional courtesy. "Come by Monday afternoon if you want. Around 4. That's when the light is best." "I will. Thank you." He shifts his books. "I should probably pay for these. But it was really nice meeting you, Nicole." "You too." He starts to walk away, then turns back. "This is probably forward, but would you want to get coffee sometime? I'd love to hear more about your restoration projects." Purely professional interest. Nicole smiles. "Purely professional? Well, maybe 70% professional. 30% I think you're interesting and I'd like to know you better." That's honest. "I'm terrible at games. My ex-wife used to say I have no filter." He says it without bitterness, just fact. Honesty is underrated. Nicole considers him. He's not classically handsome like Clarence. His jacket has a worn patch. His books are dog-eared and obviously read. He doesn't look refined. He looks real. Coffee sounds nice. But fair warning, I just got out of something complicated. I'm not looking for anything serious. Also honest. I appreciate that. Noel pulls out his phone. "Can I get your number?" They exchange information. He heads to checkout, giving her a small wave. Nicole stays in the architecture section for another 20 minutes, but she's not really reading. She's thinking about how easy that conversation was. How she didn't have to perform or prove anything. How he looked at her like she was exactly enough. That evening, she's having dinner with Sam at her favorite bistro, The one with mismatched chairs and local art, not the stuffy expensive places Clarence insisted on. You seem lighter, Sam observes. What happened? I met someone. Maybe. I don't know if it's anything. Tell me. Nicole describes Noel, the bookstore, the conversation, the coffee invitation. Sam listens, smiling. He sounds normal. He does. No family legacy, no country club membership, just a guy who restores old buildings and gets excited about architecture. Do you like him? I like that he didn't make me feel like I needed to be anyone other than myself. Nicole takes a sip of wine. With Clarence, I was always performing. Always trying to be sophisticated enough, refined enough, interesting enough. It was exhausting. And this guy? Asked about my work like it actually mattered. Didn't try to explain my own business back to me. Admitted he has no game instead of playing strategic courtship. Nicole laughs. Refreshingly honest. So you'll see him again? Maybe. If the coffee goes well. But I'm not rushing into anything. I'm happy alone, Sam. Really happy. If something develops with Noel, great. If not, I'm still good. Sam raises her glass. To being happy alone but open to company. I'll drink to that. Monday at 4 p.m., Noel shows up at the Grandview with a notebook and camera. Nicole gives him access to the owner's suite, shows him the view of the customs house. This is perfect, he says, taking photos from different angles. You can see the entire waterfront facade. The way the afternoon light hits the columns, that's exactly what we need to preserve. Nicole watches him work. He's completely absorbed, making notes, adjusting his camera, muttering about sight lines and historical accuracy. There's something appealing about his focus, his genuine enthusiasm. Want to see the rest of the venue? She offers when he's done. Since you use it as a teaching example. They spend an hour walking through the Grandview. Nicole explains the decisions she made, where to modernize, where to preserve, where to find compromise. Noel asks smart questions, points out details she hadn't noticed, appreciates the work. In the garden, surrounded by the lights she installed for evening events, Noel says, "This place is special because you didn't try to erase its history. You honored what it was while making room for what it could become. That's the goal with any restoration. Make it functional without losing its soul." Same philosophy should apply to people, probably. He looks at her directly. We all have history. The key is not letting it define our future. Nicole meets his gaze. That's very philosophical for an architect. I contain multitudes. He grins. So, that coffee? Still interested? Yeah, Nicole says. I am. They exchange smiles, and Nicole feels something she hasn't felt in years, genuine possibility. Not desperate hope that someone will complete her, but quiet excitement of meeting someone who sees her clearly and likes what he sees. Nicole stands alone on the Grandview rooftop at sunset. The harbor stretches before her, the city she's conquered, the life she's built. Her phone buzzes with messages, Julie sending numbers from their latest acquisition. Teresa confirming next weekend's wedding. Marcus asking if she can consult on a new project. Noel texting about coffee Wednesday. Nicole looks at her venue, her business, her empire built from nothing. She thinks about Clarence, probably at home with crying baby and a wife who married him for his name. She thinks about the woman she used to be, making perfect breakfasts and straightening her hair. That woman feels like a stranger now. Nicole Vance, business owner, property investor, self-made success, stands on her rooftop and realizes she doesn't need revenge anymore. She doesn't need Clarence to fail for her to succeed. She doesn't need validation from anyone. She built this. All of it. Not to prove something to him, but to prove something to herself. The sun sets over Charleston, painting her venue in gold light. Tomorrow there's another wedding. Next week, another property closing. Next month, who knows? But tonight, Nicole stands alone on top of her world, and she's never felt more sophisticated in her life. Clarence was right about one thing. Our marriage didn't count. Because I was never his equal in that relationship, I was too busy making myself smaller to realize I was always meant to stand taller. Turns out, sophistication isn't something you're born with or marry into. It's something you build, brick by brick, when no one's watching. And me? I built an empire. Up next, you've got 2 more standout stories right on your screen. If this one hit the mark, you won't want to pass these up. Just click and check them out. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any upload from us.